Hey you guys, Desmond's here,
And Creesha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss Drag Race España, Season 4. God, dog, Season 4.
We have been here for a while.
And I'm still mad we didn't cover Season 1. Still mad about that all these years later. I'll never forget calling you, why aren't we reviewing the show? Sorry.
Because but the thing was like we were going through a lot of growing pains at the time.
We were, but still, like,
We were going through a lot of growing pains, not only with the channel, but like with I think me moving, and then stresses at work, coming out of COVID, just lots of things.
yes. But honey, I'm ready to get into this episode. But before we do, I gotta remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what time it is. We are so close to our goal of 1,000. We would love to reach it as soon as possible. To help us achieve that goal, we just need you to subscribe. And you can always change your mind later, but don't. Don't at all. Because especially once we get to that 1,000 mark, because that is the only thing I check all the time. That is the only thing stopping us is not having 1,000 subscribers,
That's the only thing that's keeping us from what?
being monetized.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, what did you think of the episode before we get into this?
I had to watch it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because the first time I almost fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's usually because, like, most of the time when I'm watching España, I'm like in bed, cuddled up.
So you need to be like me, sitting on the couch, alert, or right here at this desk getting the screenshots, alert. But for me, I thought this was a really good episode, especially the Snatch
Mm-hmm.
game. I caught myself cackling quite a few times. Quite a few times. But let's go ahead and get into it. So after the wrongful elimination of Kelly Pasa, they come in and they read her message, they wipe it away, and they congratulate Lanina on winning her money. Now I have to say this, Angelita, Miss Sourpuss, my goodness. Another episode of her just being negative through the whole thing. I'm like, girl.
What you mad for?
And I just knew she was finna go home, but baby ate that lip sync up. I'm like, damn it! Damn it! I don't think the judges were expecting her to eat that lip sync up the way she did. Because we'll talk about it a little bit later, but Supreme was hurt. Supreme was hurt. I'm like, oh, I bet you voted for her. You voted for Crystal. You got outnumbered. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into that. So it's the next day in the workroom. They come in. They're chit-chatting. They making fun of Chloe's eyebrows and the lack of hair that she has. And coming from someone who has a lack of hair as well. Don't point it out. Especially when it looks like that. Like mine, mine is typically smooth at all times. So yeah, you can point it out. But when it's look like they're trying to hold on to something, don't point it out. Don't. For me, I let it go. I realized that it just was not my ministry, and I'm like, you know what? So I keeps it down. Yeah, I let it go. But when I see my sisters and brothers who have not let it go, don't point it out. Don't point it out. Don't do it. But anyway, the alarm goes off. Supreme enters the workroom, and it's time for the reading challenge. Because reading is what?
Fundamental.
Exactly, darling. And overall, I thought this was a pretty decent reading challenge. I had some ha-has. There were some, flops.
Yeah.
But for me, it was really between Lanina and La Coco. Baby, they let the girls have it.
Right.
They let them have it. But we found out the winner was Le Coco.
Le Coco.
And she won the beautiful glasses that they were reading everybody with. So, Supreme then announces that this week's Maxi Challenge is the Snatch Game.
The Snatch Game.
And let's get into this chaotic Snatch game. It was chaotic in like the good way. Like I can't speak for you, but for me, I thought this was a pretty good Snatch game. There was only a few who didn't do well, and they were in the bottom, rightfully so.
Right.
But overall, I thought this was a pretty decent Snatch game. So, let's go over who everybody has here. So, up first we have Maggie J. Lo. Oh, wait, let's introduce the players of the Snatch game. We got LaCresha and her. I notice it's pronounced like her.
Her.
So, now let's go start off with our good sis, Maggie J. Lo, who has Urina. I thought this was really good. I was worried at first, like when it first started, I'm like, uh-oh, where are we going with this? But by the end, I thought Maggie did a real good job. Real good job. And like when Supreme was like, you were this close to being in the top, I felt that because there was other queens who did a really good job as well. But what did you think of Maggie?
You know I love Mickey. Mickey's my favorite one. They were so funny. Yeah. They would wake me up. I'm like, wait, what happened? Go back.
So up next we have Miss Crystal, who played Yelena. Yelena.
So then that means Miguel was Tamara. You said Yelena.
Oh, did I? I meant to say Tamara. Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah, Miss Crystal.
Yeah, that was...
She tried.
Painful.
She tried. Like, I want to give her props for trying, but... Up next is Le Coco as Anna Locking. Had me hollering. It was so funny.
They were so funny.
Especially the randomly breaking down into tears. I'm like, not too much on my sis now. Not too much. She's just in tune with her feelings. That's all it is. Not too much on my good sis.
Clear enough.
Oh, but yeah, she did such a great job. Moving on to Mariana Stars, who did Anna Marie Polo. I didn't realize I knew who this diva was until she started. When she started hollering about how you're not speaking Spanish, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I remember seeing that clip. I wasn't sure if it was Twitter or TikTok, because she went in on this little girl who came in and she was speaking English. She's like, no, we are in Spain. We are going to speak Spanish. I'm like, so as soon as she started, I'm like, oh, I know her. I've seen the video.
I have not.
I have. I forget where I saw it. And TikTok, if you decide to put it back on my timeline, do that so I can send it to her. Because I know TikTok be listening. But yeah, she was immaculate. Amazing. Like, I agree with the judges. Like, this was like top tier. And I was worried for Marianne. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really thought she was gonna come in here and pull a Miss Cristo and not do well.
Right.
But she sat down and ate everybody up. Really did. What did you think of Marianne?
Oh, she was funny.
Just
And seriously, she did kind of eat everybody up.
She really
did.
She
was in everybody's business.
She played off of everybody so well. So well. Even the few times that I laughed like at Miss Cristo, it was because Mariana was involving herself.
Let me pick up what you throwing down.
My goodness.
Too much, Matt Mercer.
Now, up next is La Nina. She did El Ning. Now, I was shocked the judges didn't like this. I was hollering. Especially when the white powder came out. And then when you took off the glasses, you could see the eyes were all red. And I was like, I don't know who this person is. So I'm just going off of... It was given very much Sheldon from Big Bang Theory to me. It was very much giving that. But I loved it. I really did. I was confused by Nina's placement this week. I thought she was safe at least. But what did
I think because it was like a caricature of another character.
It worked for me. It worked for me. So moving onwards, to Angelita, honey. Yeah, this Gloria. I know we don't score this, but it's a no for me, though. A big one.
They were so dry.
And just that flat out mean. Like, it wasn't funny when they were trying to be mean. I'm like... And you were stuck in between two people who were doing a really good job.
Right.
And you're just kind of...
You could have... They weren't yes-anding, though.
Not well at all. Not at all.
They were not yes-anding. Because, like, most people yes-and really well. Like, because I want to play D&D so bad, I have to learn how to yes-and.
I feel like I'm okay with the yes and just give me a second because I don't do it quickly.
That part.
I don't do it quickly, but once I get it, baby, we can go back and like, but give me a second to get into what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can give you the ooh-ah-ah sensation, as Mo Hart would say. But moving on to Vampy. Vampy had Mario and ate him. This was so good.
Yeah, I thought, like, not gonna lie, I was like, oh, they probably got it. They probably won this. I'm not mad at who won.
Honestly, it was a toss-up. Because it easily could have been Mario here. It easily could have been, it could have been Marianne, I'm sorry. It could have gone, it could have went to Lake Coco as well because their interlocking was so good.
Right.
So like I said, there were so many strong people. The ones who weren't good really stood out because they weren't good.
Good.
Because we had such amazing ones like Vampy here and had me hollering multiple times. Multiple times. Now, moving on to Chloe. This is the one I was confused on. They just love this. I'm sitting there and I'm like, none of this is funny. And therefore, I was like, well, maybe because I don't know who this person is. Right. So maybe this is like the perfect impersonation. The only time I started hollering was when the thing got stuck on the table and she stretched it out. Mm-hmm. That was hilarious. That was probably the most chaotic 2 minutes of Drag Race I've ever seen. But yeah, for me, it just didn't really click. And then when Supreme was like, yeah, you did really good. You were almost in the top as well. I was like, oh, I thought you were going to say the opposite. You were really bad. You were almost in the bottom.
Right.
But now they liked it. So if they liked it, I loved it, honey. What did you think of Miss Chloe?
I was a little confused. But I was like, okay, they like it. I love it. It is what it is.
So we got another spot for Poopy because Poopy came in to do the walkthrough with the queens. And then Poopy came out again because, of course, Poopy poison. I need Poopy to have another shot at the title, at the crown, like, if she wants to. But right. I would love to see Poopy again. So now it's time for the main stage. And we have our hostess with the mostest, Supreme. What did you think of Supreme's look this week?
I don't like the shoes.
It's the same thing for the boulets. I'm like, it just cuts off weird. Like, this is one where you either give me a thigh high or you give me a nasty pump.
Yeah.
Like, this weird calf cutoff don't work for her.
Or a really nice sandal.
Ooh, a nice sandal would be nice. But what is your score?
From the thighs up, I'm gonna give it an A.
I'm gonna give it a B plus. B plus. This week we're joined by Javier Ambrosi, Anna Locking, and Javier Calvo. And our extra special guest judge, Valeria Vegas, which loved her. Like, come back more. Please come back. Loved you. So the category is Rural Fashion Week. First, we have Miss Christo. What did you think of Miss Christo here?
For some weird reason, this gave me real Candyman vibes.
Hey, I see it.
This was not my favorite. This gets like a D for me.
I give it a C. There's a lot going on and not in a good way.
Right. And I think just from seeing like bees and bee cages earlier this week on Thursday, because the Critical Role did their Halloween episode and they were on Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Marisha was Nicolas Cage in a beehive. I don't know.
I know the movie, but I don't know the name of it because I watch another channel that referenced that scene a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like too many bees.
So up next we have Maggie J-Lo. I love this.
This was so cute.
So cute. So fun.
The funny thing is like I never would have thought that they had that body under there.
Well, they were pit crew.
I know. And for some reason, when I think pit crew, I think lots of muscles.
Yeah, not all pit crews are muscly. But if you go back and look, from the time pit crew, there's muscles. But as you can see, Megan just knows how to
disguise their muscles.
Knows how to proportionize, if we want to use, U.S. words.
Right.
Knows how to proportionize. And Maggie just looks amazing. I give this a B+.
B+.
Up next is Angelita. What did you think of Angelita?
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it in its simplicity.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it was the assignment, but I loved it in its simplicity because, like, my aesthetic 100 and some odd pounds ago is like really like 1950s, 40s, poofy, circle skirts and stuff like that. And that's what this is giving. I love it. This gets an A from me.
This gets a B for me. I thought this was really good. I agree that it doesn't really give the category, so that's why I don't put it a little bit higher, but I thought this was a real good look for her. Up next is La Nina. We start off here, and we have this lovely reveal. I thought this was gorgeous. This gets an A for me.
I love this. This is an A for me, too.
Up next is Chloe V2. What did you think? Hello, Hiccup. What did you think of Chloe?
I kind of like this. This is really like the wheat shaft picture you see all the time, but instead the wheat's been processed. It's bread now. And I'm like, now, is that really bread? Is that fabric with bread? How did you get that on a plane? Did you have to take a plane? Did you ship that here? Did you make this last night? So many questions.
Did you ask them to give you a whole bunch of loaves of bread so you could finish? Say, look.
That part. Are you sitting? How are you sitting? Without smashing the bread. So many questions, no answers. I give this a B.
I agree with your B. I thought this was fun. I thought this was creative. I really love this makeup on Chloe this week. Really good. Really good. Up next is Vampy.
She looks like she could have been in the last show with the hat category.
Up next is Vampy. A. I love this.
I love this.
I love every piece of this.
This was like Eleganza Scarecrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, I don't mind the cute little flat.
I don't either. I don't. But then again, for me, heels aren't always a necessary thing in drag. I know some people are like, you gotta be in heels. But for me, it's not always that case. If it fits the outfit, I'm okay if you're not in heels.
Right. I think we just don't like, the lemon pepper steppers every
Oh,
outfit.
baby, do not give me those 1 inch, 2 inches. If you're going to put you on a heel, 4 or higher. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
which is
accepting.
why you laughed at me so hard at my graduation.
Oh, I zoomed in. I still got to zoom in. Like, why do you have on these shoes?
Look, because I am bigger than I think my body is allowed to be, and my back does not allow me to wear regular heels because when I was probably like 50 pounds lighter and preparing to go to somebody's wedding, that was for naught.
Well, then you
Oh, and I got
should
to
have
talk
put
to you
on some
about that.
flats. You should have put
I
on
had some heels.
flats.
I had some heels, baby, to wear for that, and I was training, training. I was wearing them heels every day, and then they ended up going bad because they were clear, and then I ended up not wearing them because I hurt my ankle.
But yeah, what is your score for Vampy?
This gets an A for me.
Same, it gets an A. Up next, we have Le Coco. I thought this was really good. Not the big fan of her having a fro on.
Yeah.
That didn't sit right in my spirit. But
Mm.
other than that, real cute. A minus.
I agree with your A minus. What takes it over the top for me is just the little lights on the forehead.
Up next is Mariana Stars. The reveal was everything for me. Unfortunately, what she revealed into didn't really give me.
Life.
Yeah. So it knocks it down just a little bit, but it gets a B plus for me.
Right. Because, again, subscribe to Katie Vance Light. We're in cow season right now. All the little baby heifers is being born. And so now I'm like, oh, meat.
So, who had your favorite look this week?
My favorite look was Vampirition.
I agree. Vampy really just ate this up, in my opinion. So, we find out this week in the top, we have Mariana Stars, Le Coco, and Vampy. And in the bottom, we have Menina, Angelita, and Miss Cristo. I don't agree with Lenina being in the bottom. I think she should be safe. I think Chloe V2 should be in the bottom. But I do agree with the bottom two.
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree with the top three and who won. So Mariana Stars was your winner, and she won a cash tip of 2,500 euros, honey.
That wig is everything.
Do you agree with Mariana getting the win here?
Yes.
Same. I do as well. I do as well. So, we find out that the bottom two is Miss Cristo and Angelita. They lip sync to El Amor by Marcel. 10 seconds passed, and the Supreme Lucky Queen did not come into play.
Mm.
And I just have to say, children, take notes. Because what Angelita did on this stage, that's how you do it. And Cristo was trying. She really was. She really was.
Mm-hmm.
But Angelita gave you that old school drag. Telling a story. Captivating. Drawing you in. Like, I watched this lip sync like 4 or 5 times because Angelita just did so damn good. No one I don't like you like that, girl. No one I don't like you like that. I bet you're a lovely person in real life. But on this show, you've been a sourpuss, okay? You've been a sourpuss on this show. But baby, you are teaching the children on how it's supposed to be done. So after the votes take place, they decided to keep Angelita. If you look at Supreme and Anna Locking's faces, they were devastated. I think they wanted Cristo to stay. And then they were outnumbered by the Javis and the guest judged. That's what I think would happen here. But she must sashay away. She wrote her message away. She wrote her message. And now they danced the night away like they didn't just crush that lady's dreams. And we find out next week on Drag Race España, it's time for the Rusical. I'm excited for the Rusical. I love a good Rusical.
Very nice.
But honey, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
You got? Okay, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at LaCreshaMcGill. That's Siri, SHAMCGILL, on all social media.
Honey, you can find me in the club, pocket full of bud, mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.